Before you had your first conscious thought this morning, your thumb was already moving. Not because you're weak, not because you lack discipline, because some of the smartest engineers on Earth have spent years learning how to control one thing: your attention. And if they're winning that battle, the consequences are far worse than wasted time. They're changing the way your brain works. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how, because this isn't just a bad habit, it's a hijack. Here's what nobody tells you about dopamine addiction. It doesn't feel like addiction, it feels like boredom relief, a quick break, a reward after work. Just one more video. But while you're scrolling, something else is happening. Your brain is adapting. Researchers measured how long the average person can stay focused before their attention starts searching for something new. 47 seconds, less than a minute, before your brain is already looking for the next hit of stimulation. But that's not even the disturbing part, because the same mechanism destroying your focus is also changing how much pleasure you can feel from normal life. And most people don't realize it until it's already happened. Let me show you what's actually happening inside your head. Your brain has a reward system. For thousands of years, dopamine helped humans chase things that mattered: food, connection, achievement, progress. But short-form content changed the game. TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. They can trigger your reward system over and over again in seconds. And the algorithm isn't random. It's an AI system constantly learning what keeps you watching. What makes you stop? What makes you scroll? Sometimes the next video is boring. Sometimes it's incredible. You never know. And that's exactly why you keep pulling down for another one. You're not watching videos. You're gambling with your own attention. The damage doesn't look dramatic. It doesn't feel dramatic. In real life, it looks like opening your phone for 5 minutes and losing an hour. It looks like checking one notification and forgetting what you were supposed to be doing. It looks like promising yourself you'll stop after one more video and realizing it's 2 in the morning. Some studies suggest heavy social media use is associated with measurable changes in brain regions linked to attention, self-control, and decision-making. But honestly, you don't need a brain scan to see the effects. Look at your own life. How many times have you delayed something important because your phone offered something easier? But here's the scary part. Everything I've shown you so far isn't the real problem. The real problem is what happens next. Your brain slowly starts finding normal life boring. Reading a book feels slow. Studying feels painful. Working toward a long-term goal feels exhausting. Not because those things changed, because your brain got used to constant stimulation. If you're under 25, this matters even more. Your brain is still developing. The systems responsible for self-control and decision-making are still being strengthened. And the habits you repeat today can shape how those systems develop tomorrow. That's a powerful thought, and a dangerous one. Here's the part that surprises most people. More dopamine does not mean more happiness. It often creates the opposite effect. When your brain receives constant stimulation, it adapts. What once felt exciting starts feeling normal. What once felt rewarding starts feeling average. And suddenly, normal life struggles to compete. That's why people can spend hours scrolling and still feel unsatisfied afterward. That's why motivation disappears. That's why everything starts feeling flat. It's not because you're lazy. It's because your reward system has been overloaded for too long. The good news? Your brain is incredibly adaptable. Just like it learned these habits, it can learn new ones. You don't need to delete every app today. You don't need to disappear from the internet. You just need to start creating space. A little less scrolling, a little more movement, a little more boredom, a little more real life. Exercise, conversations, learning, building, creating. Because boredom isn't the enemy. Boredom is often the moment your brain finally starts thinking for itself again. The scariest part isn't that these platforms are changing your brain. It's that they're doing it so slowly you barely notice it's happening. One day your focus is weaker. One day your motivation is lower. One day normal life feels less exciting, and you can't remember exactly when it started. So the question isn't whether this is real. The question is, what are you going to do now that you know? If this video made you think, share it with someone who needs to see it. And if you want to know what happens when someone quits dopamine addiction for an entire year, watch the next video.